Film in Minnesota. I'm your host, Alan Tracy.
I'm Rehana Bauer.
And today we have ourselves again.
Yeah, today we have no one. That's okay.
Speaking of no one, Taylor Tomlinson, we went to. she's up and coming, you know.
She's amazing. I wouldn't even say she's up and coming. She's there. Like she is amazing. She on her last tour or whatever, her stand-up tour, she came here first to open the tour, and I got to go, and it was super amazing and hilarious because I love her. And then saw that she was coming back and was like, there's literally no chance I'm not going to go. Like, I don't like to leave my house and still or go anywhere once it's past like 7:30. And that show was at 10 o'clock and I was thrilled. So
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
I was very happy to see you out of your element like that, but in your element too. I mean, because it's Taylor Tomlinson, right?
Yes. I even had real pants on, jeans. What's happening? Like, I don't know who I am.
All these people in the place.
There were so many people. Oh my God. We had excellent seats. Like, you could actually see her as a person. It was amazing. She made me laugh so hard the whole time.
I bought a t-shirt.
You did. I thought about it. I wanted to, but
you can on her website, so
yeah, I might go back and do that or something.
Or the candles, which they weren't selling until after the show, so that's why it was so busy afterwards.
I didn't realize that. That makes sense though.
Yeah.
I will also say that her opener was also hilarious. Normally, I feel like with openers, like I'll laugh some. Like, yeah, they're good. Like, okay, cool. But you know, I want the person. But with him, like, I laughed really hard.
Yeah. The Ned Flanders joke. Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, yep. I know that reference.
Yeah. Dustin Nickerson. I actually started following him on Instagram after the show because he was so funny.
Right. Me too.
So, yeah. But yeah, it was a great show. Glad that you got to come.
Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, I super highly recommend anyone, if you don't know who Taylor Tomlinson is, or you just haven't like watched all her stuff on Netflix, go do it. Just make a night of it, like one after another. Enjoy it. Just let Taylor wash over you. Have a glass of wine, or 6, whatever is your thing. That's fine. She's amazing and hilarious, and I want to be her best friend.
Yeah. Check out her show, or while it's touring theater tour. She just wants to keep doing that apparently, so it's like, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I found her podcast, the Sad in the City one.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you listened to that?
I've listened to some of it, but not all of it.
Right.
And I mean, is that still going, or was that just a pandemic thing? I thought that was just a pandemic thing.
Well, it's over, so it is finite.
Yeah.
That is kind of interesting because it's like, oh wow, so you just stopped, Like, I wonder about that for even like our podcast, Like when is the finale, like the season like final season of Film in Minnesota? Right. I don't know. Do you ever think about that?
I mean, now I will. Just kidding. I mean, yeah. I feel like I think about that with everything because like nothing lasts forever, and things grow and become, maybe more than what you were expecting, or even sometimes they'll fizzle out, and you never like expected or planned for it. Like your last time doing something is typically, not always, but typically not your expected last time.
Right.
Like the last time that you hang out with someone, you're usually not unless you're like, get me away from this person. It's usually not like the last time you expect to. Like it just kind of happens.
Right.
Or or whatever. Or maybe the last time that you decide it's a really good idea to go dancing and drinking at 11 o'clock at night because that's when all the cool people come out. You don't expect that's going to be your last time, but then all of a sudden the next day you wake up and you're like, I will never in my life do that again because that's a terrible idea. So like there are just things that are like that. So I mean, yeah, I think I've thought of it. I don't think that we're anywhere near there, but
Yeah.
I mean, someday eventually it'll get there. Hopefully we'll see it coming and plan it out and have just like an epic final episode or something when it happens.
Right. Yeah. I was like, wait, this is like the end. It ended, you know? I was kind of like a little not disappointed, but just shocked that it would be like, oh, yeah, this was a thing for like a few months and then it was over. And it was like, huh. Oh, I wonder if she'll start a different one that's not called Sad in the City, something else maybe, huh?
Well, I mean, the other part of it is like she's very open about her like mental health and therapy and her struggles with like relationships and all that kind of stuff. And so I think that's a big part of it. There was a long chunk of time during the pandemic where she was being really open with people like on Instagram and stuff. And like she would take pictures of herself like right after a panic attack. So she's like, yeah, like she's very distraught. She's been crying a ton and you can see it. And she's like, this is something that people deal with. Like it's not crazy. Like you shouldn't feel ashamed about it, but it's also good to just know that like other people go through it too. And this is like people see her, you know, in her stand-ups and like interviews and stuff, and that's part of her, but then this is also her, and that's okay. Yeah. Like she's not perfect, nobody's perfect, like all that stuff. So I think that's another part of what like made me really like her. She's just really genuine and open about all of her stuff, and I think I like to think that I'm like that, or I'm getting like that, and so it's oh my gosh, everyone. Alan has his cat up hanging out.
She's being naughty.
She's going towards the mic. She has something to say.
What do you have to say, BB?
She has
say something for yourself. What do you have to say for yourself?
I heard something.
What do you say?
I heard a little something.
No, she's being naughty. So, anyways.
But yeah. So yeah, Taylor's awesome. Everyone go watch her stuff.
Yeah.
Also follow her on Instagram because she posts like different clips from different like smaller shows that she does that are hysterical. I laugh just nonstop. It's amazing.
Yeah, I wonder about like the changes that will happen with our podcast, you know. Like this, we're doing a kind of a shorty episode, so it's kind of more like just us because we know a lot of people like to listen to our guests. But what do we have to say?
We're humans too.
Yeah, I think I've been inspired by Taylor Tomlinson in that sense to just talk about our approach to film in Minnesota here too, or whatever in general. So
yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
And who knows, maybe the name will change because we've been talking to, like, I think we mentioned on the New Year one about the whole, or end of the year, about the whole, we're talking to other people now, really, outside of Minnesota.
Yeah, we're really expanding, which I think is super cool. And I honestly really love that we're kind of like we're having conversations with people to learn about them and what they do and all of that, but also having people on who are, promoting a film and getting to watch that and talk about it and dive into their experience with that cast or that crew or writing it. And going through the whole process and distribution and just everything. It's really fascinating. And I feel like that's a big part of why we're here, is because we want to help bring light to things that people are creating.
Right.
That's the point. And so getting to do that on an intimate level like that was something that's so exciting and so important to that person. It's been really cool and really exciting.
Yeah. And I think, I guess the name doesn't have to change. It can be at least known. Because I remember going to the Cannes Film Festival in like the years between 2014 and 2017, just being like, everyone wondering, like, is there film in Minnesota? Because I'd always tell them I'm from Minnesota.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? You're not New York or
Where's
LA?
That?
Or Canada, or like even Canada has, like, obviously they have the money for it applied, but it's just like,
right.
Why isn't it here? Why can't this be? And then 2020 happened and Minneapolis is on the map. So, it's, that's something. So,
yeah. I mean, it is an amazing place to do, as much as I despise the cold. It's an amazing place to do things, to like film and to get what you're needing in any aspect. Plus the people are amazing.
And that's something Taylor talked about on her set about, like, why do you guys live here? Because it's so cold. And it's like, oh, it's warm, but it's like 20 degrees.
Yeah. It's funny, on Instagram, she had posted a little video. She was like running, I think, just from her hotel to the show or something, or the theater, and it was very close or something like that. Maybe she was even just getting a cab or an Uber, but
I think I saw that.
She was like, you guys are so nice, Minnesota. I love you, but why do you live here? This is horrible. Were you kidnapped? Are you being forced to stay here? I'm just like, oh my God, it was so amazing. Because I think that every year.
Yes.
I think it every single year.
Should we make this film in California or something? Should we
make this like film in a place where your face doesn't freeze and like you don't just immediately like feel like you're dying as soon as you step outside 9 months out of the year. I'm being overdramatic, but honestly, I hate it. So much. I get cold when it's like below 70, and I'm not kidding on that. And so this is literally my nightmare.
Well, your body does like adapt to certain temperatures. So like in the summer when it's super hot, when the temperature drops, that's noticeable to your body because it's like a 30-degree drop or something overnight. Yeah. So I get that.
I will say, I saw on, I don't know, just like Facebook memories or something stupid. Last year I had made some comment or something or whatever, about like the fact that one day, the day before, it was like -19 out plus wind chill. And then the next day it was 52. I was like, how do we have a 70-degree difference right now? Like, what is happening? Oh. And so I was like, I can only imagine how amazing that felt. Yeah.
Yeah, in the same week, we could go from like winter to like summer, basically, almost. In like, what is that, April or something?
Yep.
So
I mean, and we're in it right now. It is -2 out. Just ridiculous. And you want to go back to doing this in person? Do you think I'm going outside?
Oh, not in the winter. I mean, what am
I? I love that. Yeah, absolutely not. I'm not leaving my house again until at least May. So I don't know what everybody wants from me, but this is where I live now. I mean,
well, I mean, I know you don't like maybe her comedy, but Sarah Silverman's coming to town, so there's that.
I don't like dislike comedy. Like I'm good with her. She has a podcast. I haven't listened to it, but I've watched her Instagram videos of her doing her podcast.
Right.
Because I am old and weird. And it's been good. Like I like it. But I'm just not, I think that it's just her stand-up. I'm like, I don't know that I connect with it the way that I do with like Taylor Tomlinson or Eliza Schesslinger, who's
Mm-hmm.
also amazing. Um, or like Bill Burr because he's angry and I'm angry. So it just kind of
Yeah.
things, you know. But
All right.
either way, comedy is my jam.
Yeah.
I've been on like a giant stand-up comedy kick. We should have someone who does stand-up on here. I mean, we
Yeah.
had Rudy on, but I don't think he was doing stand-up the way that he is now. If anybody
Mm.
does stand-up,
Go
and
to our
wants to be,
website.
yeah, fill
Let's.
out our little inquiry form. Just be like, hey, I do the stand-ups. I would love to talk to you. Because that would be amazing. I would love to hear about your experience getting into that and doing it and growing with it. Because I would love to, but I'm not funny. So I want to talk to someone who is, because that it's amazing to me. I just love it so much. It's like my favorite thing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. That takes us to
So
our lovely
yeah.
website. Our new, if you haven't checked it out, go to filminminnesota.com. What do we
You'll
see?
see a lovely picture of Alan and I in case you don't know what we look like. We're very fancy.
Yeah, it's very
It's exciting.
very white like the snow of Minnesota.
How dare you, sir? Just kidding.
Because
Just kidding.
this is what people think. It's a whiteout in Minnesota all the time, right?
Oh, I thought you were just talking about how pale I am.
No, I'm talking about the colors.
I was, yeah, it was a really bad joke.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Never mind. We can cut that.
So yeah, up front is listen the homepage. You can see our podcast, listen to the latest episodes, all right there. Connect with us at the bottom there with our social media.
There's a cool page, the watch page. Tell us about that.
Yeah. Let's see. The watch page. We have Minnesota films. I see Dark Cloud, Harbinger, and Electric Addiction.
Ooh.
If you have a feature film that was made in Minnesota, please go to the About Us section. What's this say, Rehana?
It says that we are awesome. Also, it says to get in touch. And there's some pretty awesome fields here for you to put your name. What? Your email address? This is crazy. And just write us a little ditty of a message and be like, hey, I did a film and for you to put it on your website. And you know what? We would be thrilled to do that. Because again, like saying earlier, this is what we're here for. We want to help like promote the films and put them out there and get the viewers and support and all of that. So
yeah,
we're a resource. Use your resources, people.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a great way to let us know like your name, email, or if you like would like to be in the podcast, just send us a message. We'll see if we can accommodate. But yeah, mainly if you have a film you want, to have added, that's the key. Or trailer, obviously, like YouTube's the best usually for that. Or if it's an older one too that we haven't heard of,
Yeah.
Like how'd you make your film, So
let's bring it back around. That's okay.
Or if you had a rebate or a grant, how'd you do that? Let's talk,
Yeah. I mean, pretty much literally anything. We just want to talk to everybody and continue spreading the good word of film.
Yeah. And finally, the connect page.
Yeah.
So far, we have a handful of names on here.
We've got some pretty awesome names on here. Let's be very honest.
Which do you want to go by row or column? How do you want to do this?
I mean, I think we can just kind of hit them all a little bit. We've got some Twin Cities Film Festival, which is pretty amazing. We've got something that I love that we have on here and that even just exists, honestly, is the Minnesota Women in Film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we wanted to hear from them too.
Yeah. Because that's awesome. And then we've got a few different film competitions that happen in the cities, which I know you've been a part of for quite a while.
Yeah, 48-hour film project we have on here. These are all hyperlinks to their main web pages.
Mm-hmm.
Scream It Off Screen. Did we talk about that
I don't think
last
we
time?
did. Yeah, you did that very recently. How'd it
Yeah,
go?
January 2023, a sold out show. It was like, what? No, you're kidding.
How did it go? What'd you
Uh,
think?
ooh, it was kind of a,
Oof.
yeah, yeah. Try selling to like a, this is like the crowd that night at least, and I hear it varies from night to night, or, month to
Yeah.
month, whatever. They host it once a month, every Friday, every first Friday at the theater there.
Mm-hmm.
It's it was kind of yeah, it's main kind of more your average Joe audience, which is good because then it's
Mm-hmm.
like, does this film make sense to like a normal audience, right? Or
Right.
how does that play? So yeah, check it out at the Parkway Theater in Minneapolis. It's a lot of fun. Even if, I mean, obviously people just go to have fun, and it's kind of
Yeah.
brings the internet feel into the theater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The comment section comes in.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Explain yourself, sir.
yeah. It's like, okay, what do you think of my film, everyone? And then they scream it off screen or something, or they don't, or, whatever. That's what it is. It's the full comment section of the theater.
It would just, oh my gosh, it would stress me out so much, honestly.
Oh, it is pretty nerve-wracking the first time. I remember the first time being there just before the pandemic, like
Yeah.
March 2020.
Were you
And
screamed off screen?
I avoided the gong. It was close. Well, it wasn't close. Never mind. It's just I noticed, and same with Sound of Winter, because now I've given them two of my most dramatic, slow films that I've
Mm-hmm.
ever made. And it's like, okay, they both survived the gong because you get gonged off. Like they
Oh,
smack the gong, and there goes your film.
that's so sad. Oh my God.
Well, it's interesting because there's a saying in film is, well, maybe it's film. I don't know. Sometimes it's like, just don't be boring, right? And some films are, in that boring space sort of, and
Oh,
people
I've got a
just,
lot to say about that later. Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
but
I agree. But okay. Okay.
you can
That
have
makes
your
sense.
voice heard, and um,
Yeah.
in my case, it was just a vocal minority like Twitter, because Whitney Cummings has her podcast, and she said on there that like Twitter is only 3% of their total user base are actually the most vocal, which is
Yeah, I
like
bet.
3%. That's like
Mhm.
really low.
Yeah.
And yet they're the
That's
most
not.
people tweeting or whatever. But that kind of reminded me of that night. It was just like, oh, it's just like five or a dozen people that didn't like where this was going.
Right. Yeah.
But everyone
I,
else stood up because if they have to check, they turn on the lights and everyone stands up who wants to keep it playing.
mm,
So
mm-hmm.
that's always satisfying to see like basically the whole audience stand up. So
No kidding.
yeah.
Yeah. Screw the people who don't stand up. You got the majority.
Yeah. They allow drinking in there too, so there's that. So you don't want to be in towards the end of the night per se, but
Or maybe you do because then everybody's just like, yeah, this is great.
eh,
I don't know. I don't
yeah.
actually know how they're. Yeah,
Have you
I
been
could
to
be wrong.
Minnesota? No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
I just like to think of how I am when I've had a couple, and that would be me.
Oh, okay.
Either that or I would be asleep, which is also rude. So again, reasons I don't leave the house. Um,
You should do stand up. You got it.
I in no way could or
Well,
could
from the
ever,
comfort
ever.
of your own home, of course, not
like a virtual stand-up. I feel like I like this. This is
well, I get up and stand up. I don't like that. Yeah. Sit down comedy online.
Just Zoom stand-up.
Yeah. Have a sit down with Ron.
Oh my god.
What was it? Read a book? I sent you a message.
Rehana reads a book. I can do it. I am on an amazing.
We're starting a new Patreon. Right, yeah, for Rehana reads a book. Maybe just the introduction I said.
I can do voices. I can make it sound. I mean, okay, in New Girl, which by the way, you better still be watching, unless you finished it, which would be understandable. Oh. But there's an episode where, okay, good point. But Winston is reading Nick's book that he wrote, his first book about zombies, which is a terrible book. And so though like Schmidt, Nick, and Jess are just sitting on the bed, and Winston's laying down and he's reading it to them. And it's just so enticing and intriguing the way that he's reading it that they're just like, never ever stop reading this, because it's amazing and entertaining. And I'll do it. I'll do the thing. I will try and be Winston if that's what it's going to take. But
yeah, if we need, that's how we bring in the big bucks, right?
Yeah.
For this podcast.
Yes. I'll provide commentary too, just like I did for like ET. It's like, we'll get through some stuff and I'm like, okay, but hold on a second.
And then we're like, is this part of the book or?
That's a great point. I'm here.
You should have to tell them like, okay, like, okay, stop or whatever, you know, it's like.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. But yeah.
Or viewings, like a trailer. We could. We're not going to review.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Rehana's reviews. Just call it Rehana's reviews. You could review anything. I
mean, I've got opinions, man, and we all know that I can rant.
What would mine be?
Go.
We have to alliterate it, so it has to be Alan's a something. Think
Alan's
about that.
Assumptions.
Assumptions, yes. I make a lot of assumptions. Very judgy, yeah.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything, but just kidding.
Seen you at the Taylor Tomlinson.
I just cackled like a witch in your ear the whole time.
Everyone was laughing though. Yeah.
I'm sure that you went home and you were like, I am deaf now. I can no longer hear. There's no chance. I don't know how you're hearing me right now.
Yeah, that's
that was
true.
2 weeks ago.
That was
a week ago? A lifetime ago?
It was loud.
It was very loud. But it was amazing, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I think about that every time I go to stand up. I think about the person in front of me because I'm laughing so loudly because I can't help it when people like, I can't help it. And it feels unusually loud to me. It may not be, and I always feel bad about the person in front of me. I'm like, man, I hope that I'm not ruining their experience, but also it's so funny. So I kind of don't care enough to like try and tone it down. But I still think about it.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Scream It Off Screen, the first one I went to when I had no idea what this was. Oni and I went together, and he picked out the seat like dead center of the theater, which I hate for screening my own film, you know, because it's like, let someone else have this seat. I'll sit in the back because I've seen this all the time.
Yeah.
But when other films were playing, like mine was like the fourth one up, like beforehand, and they yelled gong. These were people who knew what they were doing. This last one in January, it seems like a lot of more new people, so they weren't sure what this was all about, so they didn't know what to do when. But back then, back in the good old days, see, before the 20s,
when I grew up.
They just yelled gong so loud. It was like what you mentioned about laughing behind someone.
Yeah.
Like just this loud, like tidal wave of gong, you know, it's like, what the hell was that?
I love it so much. Oh my God. I shouldn't say that. I mean, it's entertaining right now in, you know, our quiet homes. I will say we were at a basketball game the other day, high school basketball. My boyfriend coaches youth basketball. And so we went and we were sitting just kind of at the edge of the bleachers, which by the way, apparently I am too old to sit on bleachers anymore because the next day I was like, nope, never again. But
Seat
so we're
cushion.
sitting on I'm gonna have to be that person, Alan. I'm not that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
whatever.
If it's bleachers,
Um,
yeah.
and so we're sitting like on the far end, trying to make it so all the kids can sit together and be crazy and whatever. And all of a sudden, this group of like 20 youths, and that's the only way I can say it because they were children and they were like this gaggle of teenage boys. And I was like, oh, this is just my nightmare being around teenagers like this. Surrounded us. We were in the front row and they surrounded us and they were screaming the whole time and clapping and jumping and stomping and like 5 minutes in, Jared looked at me. He's like, "Do you want to move?" And I was like, "I'm gonna go deaf and scream, and I might beat up kids tonight, and that's illegal. So we should move."
Well, it's frowned upon. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm sure they're 18, so it's fine. But I was like, oh my god, I can't with kids. I can't, and I shouldn't say kids because they're almost adults, but like I almost had a migraine. It's like I can never be a parent. I don't know how parents do it. It was awful. Just youths everywhere. Loud. So loud. Ugh. For anyone that is listening that has kids, props to you, man. Good job. Like, go you. I'm gonna get a dog and I'm trying to mentally prepare for that. And you guys are like, no, we got kids and they're just whew. Yeah. So that was my nightmare and they're so loud and yeah. It's okay when you're the loud one, but when other people are, it makes the rage come out. I guess is the best way to put it. Anyway, so these other things that we have on on that page, we have Z Fest, which is coming up here in a second.
Yeah, let's see. So the submission deadline has already passed by the time this comes out, February 10th. I hope Dana versus Judy's in there. I don't know. We're living in the past, but in the future.
We'll find out. It's a secret for everyone.
And it's Groundhog's Day, so it never ends.
Oh my god.
And it's -2 out. This is so perfect. This is like the reverse Groundhog's Day. That would -2/-2 would be hilarious. Anyways.
Yeah.
A kickoff for all the people who have already registered filmmakers is the 25th. And then looks like, what do we have here? When are our Z-Fest watch dates? March 14th? That weekend?
Isn't that the Oscar weekend?
It's the weekend after, looks like. Isn't it? Let's see.
I don't know. Honestly, I thought the Oscars were in like February. It's weird to me that they're in March, so I genuinely, I don't know.
Is it? Oh, maybe this is not right. My bad. April 14th. Sorry.
There we go. Okay. Cool. Makes more sense.
Yes, I was like, yeah, it's March 12th. That's a Sunday. That's not right.
Yeah. It's also very quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kick off in February, suddenly March. No.
Yeah.
It's April. April 14th is the screening date, so you can attend all their screenings, watch all the films. Hopefully Dana versus Judy's in there. You'll just have to wait and see, please.
Yes.
And then Best of Fest is May 12th. So that's interesting because another one we have on our Connect page is MSP International Film Fest, as well as also known as the MSP, at the Main. So films used to be called Film Society, I think, but their festival runs April 13th through the 27th. So a little conflict there. I mean, are you going international or local? What do you want? You know, we got two things going on at the same time. So one's in Minneapolis, the other is in Eagan for the festival, for Z-Fest, rather.
I mean, depending on times of things, you could make them both work, to be totally honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting because it's like, well, Z-Fest used to be like at the Mall of America, then it went to New Hope, and then it went to Woodbury. I mean, it went to so many different theaters. Mm-hmm. The Icon at one point, Showplace Icon. And that's where Twin Cities Film Fest is, which is also on here.
Mm-hmm.
I did see they're now accepting entries for short films, which is kind of early. It's like October, but this is like February, so it's like, oh, get it in way early.
Yeah, we've got a lot of links here to some really great.
Yeah, a lot of people who have been on the podcast.
Yep.
Like George from the Webfest and Ira, Philip.
Yeah.
And did you see the event that was held recently last Thursday? Well, for us, last Thursday.
Right. No, tell me about it.
So apparently Catalyst, Z-Fest, Twin Cities Film Fest, 50/50 all got together at Z Systems that night.
Was it like a Royal Rumble or something? What?
Yes,
I don't know why.
It was.
What?
Guess who won? No, I'm just kidding.
And the Webfest. I guess off.
Webfest was there too. So like everything that we have here basically was there that night on
That's
our
incredible.
Connect page. So yeah. Apparently they're going to hold more of these too, like monthly.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And I saw a picture from, I think it was Catalyst Facebook group, but it was like a full house. Obviously, Z-System's kind of a tight space too, so it's not exactly a shock that gets full. But it was interesting to see that everyone in one space, like, what were they talking about? But it's our community, right? We're talking about, like, this is where we need to join together to make this happen. And it's happening. And I'm like, what? It's January. I'm in hibernation mode over here. Like,
right.
But then it's like, oh, something to go out to? Okay.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love that coordination and collaboration, and yeah. It's amazing.
So it was kind of a panel, it sounded like, of something and like what to do to something, I don't know, to film in Minnesota. They're talking about us. No, I'm just kidding.
What to do in something. Yeah. I mean, it sounds fascinating.
It does. Something is better than nothing.
That is accurate. It's very accurate.
Because we could be
fantastic, though.
Like, what doesn't have film, do you think? Idaho? Wyoming? I'm just wondering.
Yeah. I mean, Wyoming probably does.
Yeah,
is that where they film Yellowstone or whatever that thing is called?
Probably part of it.
Yeah, they might. They may not. I have no idea. I've also never seen it, so I'm just being stereotypical.
Yeah.
I'm stereotyping. Words are really hard right now. Okay. Oh my god. Anyway.
And the Minnesota Film Alliance, which we talked to with Casey about, is on here. Upper Midwest Film, Duluth, Superior Film Fest. I mean, we want to talk to Upper Midwest, I think, and Duluth.
Yeah.
We got to talk to people up there, besides Philip, obviously, but more people from up there. And they have regular, like, Facebook streams. So you can go back and watch them in their group, too. So it's kind of like, oh, all this like, stuff about how to get distribution and stuff, or what to do to pitch. So yeah,
which is huge. That's big.
We need more of that. That's good content up there. Go check it out. Develop your stories. Your next Last of Us, right, Rehana? What do you think?
Oh my god. Okay, if anyone listening right now, I mean, this is going to be at least 2 more episodes away. No, 3, 2. Numbers are hard. 2 episodes away. So
I like that you break into song Whenever he's like,
It's because I'm Jessica Day and
the
also Andy
musical
Bernard a little bit. Um,
Jessica Day. Who's that?
oh, so you haven't watched New Girl, you liar.
Oh, Jess.
Jess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just know her as Jess so far. That's all I know.
Oh. Well, okay. Her name's Jessica Day. Thank y'all. Anyway, The Last of Us. If anyone hasn't watched it yet and you are listening, press pause. Go watch it. There's 3 episodes right now, although the first episode is technically 2 episodes combined because they thought at the ending of episode 1, it's not enough. We need to make this one mega episode in order to really catch it, like get everybody. And it worked. And at this point there will be another episode, maybe 2. Nope, not maybe 2 more episodes before you hear this, which means there's going to be 6 basically episodes that you're behind. Go watch it. It is amazing. It's genuinely like it's probably one of my favorite TV series that's been made right now. Like it is incredible. It's so well done. It from every aspect. But this 3rd episode that just aired is, we were talking about it earlier, and honestly, like without exaggerating, I will probably watch that 3rd episode multiple times just on its own. It's a standalone episode. It's about Bill and Frank, if anyone has played the game and knows who those people are. But it's a spectacular and beautifully made and written, performed episode. It's incredibly moving, and I'm just obsessed with it. Apparently, I was just watching a YouTube video right before we started recording of Nick Offerman on some late night show, and talking about it, and they were showing YouTube clips of people, like their reaction right after watching it, and they're all bawling. And they're just like, this was supposed to be a show about zombies. And they're so emotional, and it's amazing. I was very emotional as well. It's very moving. So go watch it, guys. Go watch all the episodes. It's incredible. Alan, go watch them.
Yeah. I know it from the games. I wonder, did it come from a book originally?
I don't know. It's a good question. If not, I'm sure that the concept came from like the idea kind of stemmed from maybe a book or books, and it was kind of molded into it. But
oh, I see. So the game came first. Novelization of the game was released in 2014. Okay.
That's really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is a cool game.
2013 the game. Okay.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But the show blows it all out of the water.
So
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I've heard that playing the game, obviously, and the show kind of match up pretty well. I've heard, or I've seen from Instagram posts where they literally line up the game with the show, and it plays out the same. And I'm like, huh? In the cutscenes. But
it's really, really cool.
I'm interested because, like, I'm not sure how I'm sure the Witcher books came first before the game, and then the series. But like these, games are, interesting that a lot of the stories now originate in gaming and then translate to film or like shows, series.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
mean, the good storyline games, they're intriguing and people get really into it.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised that Assassin's Creed didn't do like
right.
Yeah, I was like, I love that guy. Like, I will watch Jer play that game because it's like it's so entertaining and interesting. More so specific ones, because in case anyone doesn't know about this, there's like different versions of it essentially. And so like there's one like Spartan times kind of a thing, and then there's one in like ancient Egypt, the gods and everything. And those ones, like, I will just play it for hours. I don't care. I'm gonna watch you because this is so interesting and very entertaining. So yeah, I was surprised that didn't do as well, but maybe it's because it wasn't a series.
Yeah,
should have made it a
true.
series.
And Cyberpunk, they've already made the anime series on Netflix.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
and they use the same city that 2070 Cyberpunk 2077 is based in for Edge
Wow.
Runners. So yeah,
But do they have Keanu Reeves in it? Is the question.
they don't. Yeah.
Nope, not into it. Not interested.
But because in the story, well, I'd have to spoil. I'll spoil for you, Rehana. Everyone else has
Yeah.
played it, and if you haven't, you should if you're a gamer. Um, Keanu Reeves' character, like he dies around like 2023, I want to say, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I forget exactly the date, but then um, he comes back in 2077 because of like technology. There's this thing they used. So then the same city, but he's kind of there, but he's not. It's interesting. He
Interesting.
exists in the vaults, shall we say, of here, this one.
It's his background, and so he's
Yeah,
pointing to the
Cyber
appropriate
City.
location.
There's a
Um,
there's a company name there. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what they should do with Keanu Reeves anyway. The moment he
Yes.
departs us, which is going to make everyone cry, they need to freeze him or do something
Upload to the Matrix.
because yes, because the world needs more Keanu Reeves, and so that way
Hmm.
they can eventually bring him back. Cause,
I am waiting for Cyberpunk to be made into a movie because you have Keanu Reeves first of all.
yeah,
Number one, you've got it right there. Get him while he's still doing his thing, right?
mm-hmm,
So
yeah,
he's doing John
and
Wick. Jeez.
oh, so many. He's so good. Doesn't the new I don't know how video games work properly. Is it like the new season or the new like Cyberpunk 2 or something? But
Hmm.
it has Idris Elba in it, doesn't it?
Yes. The new
Yeah.
patch update coming later this year will have Idris Elba in it. Yes.
Also love him. Oh my
Phantom
gosh, it's gonna
Liberty, it's
be
called. So
so good. So
yeah.
so good. Oh my goodness.
I yeah, a lot of the stories in Cyberpunk are a lot of fun just because they're very interesting. They're intriguing. That's what it is. So,
I mean, I'm all for that.
and I'm just waiting for either the series or film of it, just because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
please make this a film. Please make this a good film too.
Yeah. I feel like series are the way to go with these games because they make them, I mean, they're so long. Like games
Right.
can take 5,000 years to play, but then they also come out with expansions and blah, blah, blah. And people get so connected to all of that that if you make it a movie, you have to drop so much of what the game is. And I think that's the issue with making it a movie versus a show.
Yeah, like you mentioned Assassin's Creed, so why didn't that
Mm-hmm.
succeed? They tried to cram it all into one, and it's like,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Mm-mm.
Unless you're going to make like 1,000 movies like Marvel. Someone has to pick up that ticket. So pick up that
Speaking of,
lunch check.
yeah, speaking of Marvel, I don't know if anyone's paying attention to the whole DC situation.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. That's
I am
all.
livid. Livid.
Which
Um,
part? Tell me.
well, first of all, I mean all of it. First of all, you have oh god, I just can't okay.
Hmm.
We're gonna
James
start with Henry
Gunn.
Cavill.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna
Henry
start with
Cavill.
Henry Cavill. The man was perfect for Superman. The man was perfect for The Witcher. And then he found out, nope, we're doing more Superman. We're bringing you back, which is a huge time commitment. And so he said, okay, I'm going to do that. I am leaving The Witcher. He leaves The Witcher, which breaks my heart. I
Hmm.
like Liam Hemsworth. I'm sure he's going to do a great job. But Henry Cavill was perfect. Um, and and so he's like, all right, peace out. I'm gonna leave. Love you guys, but I'm gonna do this thing because this is my thing. Great. And then as soon as he does that, like a week later, they're like, oh, BT Dubs, no, you're out, you're fired. And it's infuriating because they could have told him that a week earlier. He could have stayed on. I mean, obviously not a week earlier, but I'm infuriated that he was perfect for these two roles and now he has neither of them.
Right.
Um, similarly, Gal Gadot was perfect as Wonder Woman. I understand some people don't like her. A lot of those people hate women. So quite frankly, I don't care. Um, she was amazing at it. She was perfect. Uh, and like, um, just the characters that they had were finally so well cast and just perfect for these roles. And they were finally starting to, with like the Snyder cut, starting to really like meld everything together. And it feels like James Gunn and his partner, whoever, I don't know his name, are like, they want to make it like Marvel. They want to make it like the MCU. They're calling it the DCU, which I get. I understand. But the DC is inherently dark. It's an inherently dark universe. It's not funny and just crazy, but like happy endings all the time, like Marvel. It's really dark, and that's
Right.
just the nature of it. And I feel like he's trying to make it something entirely different because of his experience with Marvel. On top of the fact, oh my god, I just have so many issues. So he's just saying everything that we know now, everything that people have finally gotten, especially with Snyder Cut. But like I know a lot of people didn't like a lot of the movies. I loved them all, so whatever. Um, everything that people finally got that really feels like it's solid and it's starting to come together. He's saying, okay, we're trashing all of it. We're going to start over with all new casts and with a whole new story. I'm like, I'm sick of starting over with these DC stories. I'm no longer interested because you keep starting over all the
Right.
time. And then I don't know if you saw this, but yesterday watched his whole like release about this is what we're going to do. This is phase 1 out of like a 30 phase like plan. Not exaggerating, it's huge. And so he's like, I'm going to give you like part 1 of phase 1. It's like in The Office. And he's like, all right, well, we're going to start with a show, and it's an animated show about this group of DC superheroes. Never heard of him. And he said, then we're going to do a movie about this Beetle guy. Never heard of him. He's like, and then we're going to do a movie about the Flash. Okay, cool. But now it's not who the Flash was, which I understand he's a terrible person, but also he was perfect at it, but also he's a terrible person. So I'm no longer interested. And then
Wait, which person?
like, Ezra or something.
The one in the Snyder Cut, or
I
who?
mean, he's been the Flash, yeah, for
Well, there
that
was
movie,
like the
but
show and then movie.
just the movies,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. But then, um, and then he's like, and then we're gonna do another movie about this group of superheroes. I'm like, never heard of them, and so he just keeps going, and I'm like, and then there's a Aquaman too, and I'm like, out of like the 6 or 7 movies and TV shows that he listed for the first part of phase 1, I have heard of 2 of them, Aquaman and Flash, and I don't give a crap about the Flash because it's like it was interesting to me because the person who was playing the Flash was so perfect for it. So I genuinely don't care. So I'm like, I will watch Aquaman 2 if it's still Jason Momoa, and then I don't care about your DCU at this point. And I mean, I'm sure that there are people who will be excited about it, and there's probably going to be people who feel like me, and then there might be people who are like, I don't care. But it's just it kills
Yeah.
me because I was finally like, this is awesome. This is exciting to me. And intriguing and entertaining. And he's just like, oh no, we're finally like on the right track, and we've got all these great like cliffhangers and things and end cut scenes that are going to tie together, and it's going to be great because worlds are going to collide and blah blah blah. But you know what, these people are too perfect for these roles, so we're just going to trash it. And I'm livid. I'm so livid.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway, that's my rant. I always have one rant. That's my
But
rant.
you're right. DC has a problem with like always pulling the plug and trying to restart it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, network failure. Let's just unplug this and try again. And new Batman installed, and another Joker, and we have 2 Batmans, 3 Jokers, and a Catwoman.
Yeah. And I mean, I will say, oh, he also mentioned that. He's like, we want to make sure that like one off like movies or productions or whatever, like the Joker, or is it just Joker? Whatever. Or like the Batman, are very distinctly called out as not part of the DCU. Like it's an entirely separate thing. And I'm like, do you think people were confused about that? Like, do you think people were like, wait, there's two Batmans. It's Robert Pattinson and Ben
Some
Affleck. What is happening?
some people do. I was shocked when I asked someone about like Star Wars when what was it, Rogue One came out after The Force Awakens.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, I was expecting the next one after The Force Awakens, and this was something else completely different. And they were confused. And this was just like at a like normal job. Like they don't pay attention to movies. They just go with their kids or whatever. They do not pay attention to the master plan,
Right. Yeah.
So yes, there will be confusion still. Sorry. It's just the way it is. People don't spend all their time like us. They raise kids,
crazy?
Right?
Yeah, people have to raise the youths that I rant about. I apologize. But yeah, I have so many issues with it, and it makes me appreciate that the Snyder cut is out there because I love it and it's amazing. And the movies that we got with those people, with that cast is out there because I really enjoyed them. But thank goodness we have Marvel.
So long, I'm out. Farewell.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm so out.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Exactly. Cool.
Yeah, it just makes sense. A lot of those stars are already big enough to do other things anyways. So, I mean, I get it. But at the same time, Marvel kind of had their own, like, superstar cast, Robert Downey and Jr., and then, like, all these people that came in and made Marvel what it is. So it's possible to still get, more people into comic book films.
Yeah. I don't know. They're gonna have to get some big names for me to care at all.
We'll see.
Not that my opinion or me watching anything matters. I understand that it doesn't. I am just a person at a desk with a microphone ranting about things that don't matter. I understand that. Because there's bound to be someone listening. It's like, who cares what you think? No, that's true. No one cares. No one has to care. No one should care. I get it. I'm just saying. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Right. This is our podcast. So there.
Exactly. Yeah. So speaking about things that bother me, we're getting ready for I'm just
the next episode.
I'm so pessimistic. It's just absurd. We're getting ready for the next episode. I should say you're getting ready for the next episode. I'm putting it off.
Yeah. I didn't want to be like that this time. I wanted to be ahead of the curve a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I'm pacing myself instead of like cramming 9 movies into one like weekend or something.
You're still better than me. You cram 9 into one weekend. I cram 1 into like 9 weeks.
True. You call yourself a movie watcher?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
New Girls on Netflix. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I constantly go back to like Community, The Office, Parks and Rec.
So what have you seen so far?
I actually did pretty well. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the Best Picture nominees. So halfway there. Halfway.
Oh my gosh.
And I hate that.
Impressive. You hate it?
That there's 10 again?
Oh, yeah.
And I have a theory about that.
Okay, what's your theory?
So when Parasite came out that year, the Oscars attempted to introduce a category known as popular film category. People rejected it, or the Academy rejected it, I suppose, just to help up ratings. And now we look at 10 pictures that are like, huh? And then I see 2 for sure that are like, this should have been in that category. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
You're putting these particular studio films, like Avatar, like Top Gun, not that, they can't be great films. It's just... I'm
so irritated that Top Gun is on this list. I'm so irritated.
I have I literally didn't have interest in this film, and I get that it's probably a great film, or a nice film, not
It's
whatever.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it's not a best picture of 2022
no, I doubt that.
by any means. It's well done. The fact that, I mean, they did really cool things. Like all of the shots of them flying, all of the cast is flying. They're flying jets. They learned how to do that. There are cameras in the jets. They did so it's awesome.
I feel sorry for those cameramen.
It's really, really good. But it's not a best picture of 2022. Right. It's just not. Like, I hated Top Gun 1. I really like this movie. It does not belong on this list.
Okay.
It kills me.
You can hold that for the next episode coming up after this one.
Yes.
A little preview, hint of what's to come.
No one's going to listen to it now.
Oh, we have our guests joining us for this one, though.
We do. We have 2 guests.
Yes. Jennifer Prettyman and Becca Mayo.
Woo!
So shout out to those ladies. We will see you on the next one.
Mm-hmm. But so your theory, you're continuing with your theory. I interrupted.
Those pictures should have been in that category. So the people who push for that category are now pushing them into the best picture category. So my theory is that's why there are 10 in this. Like, and last year's crowd, if you remember, it was like, I think Nomadland was the year it was like 7 or something, and that was a lot.
Yes.
And then they pushed to 10, and now it's still at 10, and I'm like, stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Because we have to rank these. That's how they do it, at least, ranked voting for Best Picture.
Right. Because who won last year? It was...
Coda.
That's right. Coda. Okay. Because, yeah, it was Coda, King Richard, West Side Story, The Power of the Dog, Licorice Pizza. Oh, nope.
I might have Belfast. A licorice pizza this year in this group, so we'll see.
Okay. Drive My Car. I don't remember what that is. Don't Look Up, which is an amazing movie, but yeah, it's probably more it's a popular, you're right. And Nightmare Alley. Yeah. No, I mean, you're not wrong. I will also say, though, I feel like this entire list bothers me. No, that's a lie. Not the entire list. There's 3 movies that I think belong more on a popular movies rather than Best Picture. Yeah. I will admit I have not seen one of the 3. I could be wrong. I've actually only seen 2 of the 10 movies so far. And
I know which 2 they are. They're popular, yes. I think.
Yeah, they are. And 2 of these movies, All Quiet on the Western Front, Women Talking, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Those all look really good. And so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to watching those beforehand. Like that, those look very, very good. I've heard good things about Triangles of Sadness. I'm going to be very, very blatant with you. Tar, The Fabelmans, and the Banshees of Inisherin could not possibly care less. They all look like they make me want to fall asleep. Could not care less. I understand that one of them is about like what Steven Spielberg's childhood or something. I don't care. I don't care. Michelle Williams is in it. I don't care. Like I'm really sick of like now, like you said, they're bringing in the popular movies instead, but then they're putting these movies up that it's like there are other movies that I think deserve to be in this category that they're just completely bypassing.
Yeah,
because they're trying to be popular, or they're trying to be like, oh, it's so fancy. This is the movie. Like nobody cares, man.
It's the pictures.
Yeah. And I'll admit, I didn't even see all of these, but even from the trailers, you know that these were amazing, and the reviews and all the things. She Said.
Yeah.
We saw that at the film festival.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Amsterdam. I understand not everybody liked it. It doesn't matter if you liked it. It was excellent, and it deserves to be in that category. Till. Why is this not nominated for anything, but especially Best Picture?
Hmm.
And then Woman King, I didn't watch it, but I don't need to. That should be in this well above, well above Top Gun. And oh my God, Elvis. I'm going to stop there. I have so many issues with literally everything, apparently. And that's what I'm going to say about that. uh, I don't know if everyone can tell. I am lovely to live with or to be around. Just lovely.
And on that note, I say adieu to you. No.
Yeah. But
well, this has been fun, right?
It's been a good time.
Don't bring up the Oscars.
Yeah, I promise if you tune in to our next episode, it's not going to be just me complaining the whole time and ranting. There might be a couple of them, but that's all right. You can go refill your coffee. We have guests on, like Alan mentioned. It's going to be a great episode. We're going to rank the things, make our guesses, and it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Express our thoughts.
Yeah, so gather your thoughts, Rehana. You have about a month. It's February, so it's kind of short. So
right. Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, just
I'll take
one.
I'll maybe I'm gonna try and watch 3. I'm gonna try and watch Everywhere, Everything, whatever it is. All's Quiet on the Western Front. Words.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I mentioned,
Women Talking.
Maybe. Women Talking.
That's in theaters still at the moment, so I don't know if it's going to make it to VOD in time. So,
it's a good point. But I'm going to try for those. So I'm going to try and go above and beyond what I normally do. I'm the worst.
A lot of them are on streaming. That's why it was easy for me to watch them because it's like, oh, it's there, so just press play.
Yeah, that is really convenient now. Not having to go into the theater for all of them. Like I love going to the theater, but it makes it easy.
Yeah.
For sure.
I miss the theater.
I know, me too. I used to live directly across the street from one, and now that we moved, to like drive and pay more. The popcorn's not nearly as good. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. When's Taylor Tomlinson coming back to
town? 2 years.
Yeah. It's like, damn it. We sold out 4 shows. Come on.
I mean, we did. She should just come back.
Shoot the special here. That's what it's going to be, right?
Yes, that would be amazing.
Gaffigan did it, right? So.
Yes, I was so mad. I almost bought tickets for that and then didn't. And then that was a special.
Oh my God.
I was so sad with myself.
Yeah, I noticed we're kind of on the top, like near the beginning of a lot of the tours. So I'm like, they're not shooting the special right away.
No, but they are choosing us to start their tour. And I feel like that also is something special.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We need more of the big comic names coming into town. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there was 1 year. I mean, it was like a 3 or 4 month span. We got to see Jerry Seinfeld, Jim Gaffigan, Bill Burr, Aziz Ansari, and then there was another one. And I think that's what like got me hooked. And I was like, I need to see all of the comedians for the rest of time. This is like, concerts are fine, but like this is amazing.
Right.
If I can just go and laugh for an hour and a half, 2 hours, that's perfect. Plus it doesn't blow out my eardrums. Like this is amazing.
Right. I know. Yeah. With concerts, I'm like, it's kind of loud.
Yeah. That's because we're getting old.
No, just well, yes and no, because I need my ears to edit things. So it's like,
oh, that's true.
Is this not where it's supposed to be? It's like, I need to preserve the hearing without a need.
Yes. Right. And I do think it's interesting. The last concert that I went to, which was, I don't know, a few months ago, I'm a 90s person. Like 90s music is my favorite, unsurprisingly. And so one of my best friends and I went to a 90s concert. It was like New Kids on the Block, and Vogue. Rick Astley was there and did his one song like 4 times. He rickrolled us the whole concert. And it doesn't matter. Somebody else is there. Salt and pepper. So we go, and I'm like, I love all of these, aside from Rick Astley, all of these people. This is amazing. Oh, halfway through, I was like, man, it's getting late. I hope they wrap it up soon. And it was only halfway through. But it's stand up. I'm like, no, they end. And I'm like, no, I want more. Yeah. So I think that's how old I am. Yeah. I don't know. I just make me laugh. Like, I can listen to music whenever I want, but make me laugh.
Yeah, so stand-up comedians go to the website. Where do they go, Rehana? About Us.
They're going to go to filminminnesota.com. They're going to click on About Us. They're going to put in their name, put in their address. And by address, I mean email address. I'm not mailing you something. And then they're going to put in the message, hey, I'm a stand-up comedian. I would love to be on your podcast because I'm really funny. And we're going to say, next week, let's go.
Yeah.
Because I want to talk to you. We want to talk to you. It's going to be great.
This was going to be a short episode.
But Rehana talks a lot, and when she rants...
1 hour later.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're looking forward to doing more of the shows like this that we can rant. Rehana's rants. Yeah, that's right. That's what it was.
We'll designate 5 minutes of each of those episodes for that, and then I just need to cut it back after that, because otherwise I get going. I'm sorry.
That's one thing I don't like about these particular... Maybe we'll switch the type of recording we do, too. We'll see. But
I thought you were going to be like, that's one thing I don't like about doing this kind of episode.
No. It's the way we record it. It's like, it doesn't keep a timer. So it's just kind of like, where are we? You know?
Oh, yeah. And the whole time Alan's like, we need to make dinner. Like, I need to go. What is this lady talking about? Anyway, I'm doing it.
I love it. Yeah. This is comedy here. It's tragedy plus time.
I love it. But yeah, so everyone.
So if you're Taylor Tomlinson, go to our website.
Oh my God, Oh my God, if we could talk to Taylor Tomlinson, I would die. Also, I would either not be able to speak because I'd be freaking out, or I would not be able to let her speak because I would be freaking out. It would be a whole thing. Oh my God, Taylor, please come on the podcast. If someone can get Taylor on our podcast, I will give you $20, and I'm not kidding. Yeah. I know that's not a lot of money, but we have a podcast.
I don't know. It might be like a 2 a.m. thing because we know she can't sleep, so there's that.
That's okay. Me neither. We can be best friends about it.
If you could have seen Rehana perk up right there, like, oh, me too.
Yeah. Like, literally, that was part of her stand-up. She's like, I can't sleep. I have trouble sleeping. And she wanted remedies.
Hilarious. Yeah.
That people have. And then she's like, I swear to God, if you people raise your hand and tell me to do this or do that, and just listing off these things that people are like, this works for me.
Download the Calm app.
Yeah. She's like, I'm done with you. I'm walking off stage. And it was super funny because I was like, yeah, I feel the same way. I go through the same thing. I wanted to raise my hand and just be like, nothing works. Just stop asking. Nothing works. Sleep is a lie. Yeah, but anyway.
Need a melatonin, maybe.
Yeah. So I promise next week I will take a couple anxiety pills instead of just one, so that way hopefully I'll calm down for the episode, so I'm not a crazy person.
That's what this is. This is what these episodes are going to be. Just us talking about anything but film.
Yeah, that's okay.
We'll come around to film eventually, probably. I think that's how it works. Yeah.
Exactly. It'll be there.
Yeah, we can't stay away. It's just yeah. There's life.
We
to live
tangent
too.
a lot.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're human beings.
Yeah. You hear that, right. Minnesota? Anyways.
Yeah, I'm a human being. Anyway, that probably sounded weird without being able to see my face. Doesn't matter. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you next time for the Oscar episode. And until then, you're listening to Film in Minnesota.